Hey, today we're going to teach you how to make a delicious meal. We're going to teach you how to make carnitas. The literal translation is tiny pieces of meat. And these tiny pieces of meat are delicious. They're tender and they're just packed full of flavor. And they're so easy to make. So our recipe, we're going to show you all sorts of little things that we did to amp them up and make them a little bit better. Stay tuned. My name is Britt Reed and welcome to Fire and Froth. This channel is all about helping people cook tasty food and brew great beer so we can all grow, learn, and live well. Okay, here we are at the first step. We're going to take a 5 to 6 pound pork butt or shoulder, and then we're going to debone it. So we're going to cut that bone out of the middle, and then we'll lay it flat and we'll start cubing the meat up. And we're going to cut it into 1 to 2 inch cubes. But you don't have to worry about them being uniform size. Just cut them up and throw them in the pan. Alright, now it's time to season the cube pork. We'll use a simple mix of the following ingredients. 1.5 tablespoons of kosher salt. Then we'll use 1.5 teaspoons of fresh ground pepper. 1.25 teaspoons of cinnamon. 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of gochujang powder. 2 bay leaves torn in half. And then we're going to break out the garlic. Add approximately 8 cloves of garlic, or their equivalent. As you can see, we did a little too much. And now we mix. Yeah, just go ahead and mix that meat up. Make sure that all the pieces are covered perfectly. That way you ensure just a wonderful depth of flavor. Looking pretty good. Okay, and now we go ahead and break out the Mojo sauce. Add 5 to 6 tablespoons of it. You don't want to drown the stuff. Just a little bit goes a long way. And now we mix yet again. Just make sure that all those pieces are covered real well in Mojo, and you'll be looking good. Alright, now it's time to transport your meat from the countertop to your smoker. Cook it at 225 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 to 1.5 hours, and use a nice fruit wood to add to that depth of flavor. Now it's time to braise the meat. Increase the temperature to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Add some Mojo sauce, but don't drown it. And then wrap the pan tightly in foil. You're going to cook now for about 2.5 to 3 hours, or until the meat is fork tender. Go grab the meat off the smoker, and then once you get it inside, you need to separate the meat from the rendered fat and Mojo sauce. So we just took a colander, put it in the sink, put a bowl underneath the colander, and just poured the meat and the Mojo in there, separated everything. Definitely save the juice. set the broiler to high. Go ahead and put your meat in the oven for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then you're going to pull the meat out, you're going to stir it up, and then put it back in for an additional 3 to 5 minutes. And then those tender bits of meat will be looking pretty darn good. Once those tender pieces of meat have the color you want, it's time to enjoy them, either as they are, those chunks, or you can chop them up into nice, fine pieces. Either way, they're delicious. Yeah, you can make all sorts of stuff with these carnitas. We made some tacos the night of the filming, but we've also made quesadillas, burritos, and the next morning I used them in some egg scrambles for breakfast. It's just great meat to have, and it's always nice to have it ready to go in your fridge. Now that you've seen how you can make this amazing dish, check out this other cool recipe or this interesting beer episode. All right,